Okay, people, welcome once again to Damus Rabbitry, and here we have the Grassscutter spreadsheet and how it looks like. I'm just going to run you through it, and then you see basically how it works. So we have the various menus, the startup cost, the asset and capital account, breeding stock, breeding cycle, production records, performance chart, sales, income, expenditure, veterinary record, and then daily incidents. So first of all, let's go to the startup course and business plan. So here is just for those who want to start, and then you begin by inserting your number of colonies that you want to start with, or as a businessman, you need to know the number of colonies that you want to work with. Assuming you are just starting and you are now going to buy them, especially from a Ghanaian, in Ghana, our colony system is 3 females and then 2 males. So this is what basically helps you to do the planning on how much it will cost you to start. So you first of all insert your number of colonies. All those white spaces are editable, so not 45. Yeah, so you insert five colonies, which gives you 15 females and 10 males. And then so any colony that you want to enter, once it's one, it will be 3 females, 2 males. According to the Ghanaian way of colony system. So that is it. So let's work with 10 colonies for now, which gives you a total of 30 females, 20 males, and the number of births in a year. Grassscutter will give birth to 2 in a year. Then the average number of grasscutters will produce per liter. You can make it 4. You can also adjust this figure, make it 4 or 3, or let's say 5, to give yourself the benefit of the doubt. All right, so you can change it to any figure that you want. There are some of the cells that you cannot edit, you cannot touch it. That's why those signals are appearing like that. Oops, sorry. Good. So let's say 5 to be fair with ourselves. Then average selling price per rabbit at maturity. So at what price would you be selling your grasscutters once they start producing at maturity? So you can or not necessarily the maturity, maybe when they are just 3 months old and you want to sell them, of what will be the price. So here you can say 300 cedis or 250 cedis or 400 cedis, it depends. Once those hashtag appears, you could have stretched it, but once you place your mouse on it, it shows you the real figure. I think the column is too small for it, but we'll extend it and see so that we can work with bigger figures. All right, so then that is it for the overview of your production and then expected income. And then we have the startup costs. All right, the startup costs, how much will it cost you to start up? So number of cages that you need, this is also automatically calculated. Once you insert your colony, it will tell you that you need about 100 cages averagely. Then you insert the price per cage. Usually this price actually works. You can just make it 150 or 180. Then it helps you to know how much it will cost you to construct 100 rooms cages. Then we have the cost of procuring the stock. So the cost price per grasscutter as you are going to buy, you can insert the price. And then the number of grasscutters to buy, both male and female, according to what you inserted, it will already show. So that is it for the. So here we have the assets and then your tools like things and capital. Sorry, what you are putting in at the building stage or at the incubation stage, you have to insert all of them in order to know how much it costs you to start up for future calculations. All right, so let's go back. Then the next thing you want to do is to update your breeding stock. Now here I've inserted female 1, female 2, female 3, but you can change the names to any, however you want to identify your grasscutters. So you can say ash female, or any name. Just choose any name at all that you want to put there. Albino female, So as you know, however you identify them, then you just insert the name there. Right. So that is it for the breeding stock female list. So then you set the date of birth as well. Then the breed, the type of breed, you can say ash color or whatever. I believe there are some three breeds available: albino or the normal color. Then that is it. So then the status of that particular grass cutter, whether it's sick, resting, nursing, pregnant, curled, dead, sold, you have to keep it updated. Then the same applies for the male side, the grass cutter males. Also, you need to keep. This is very important because you really need it along the way. It is what is going to be used to. So here we have the breeding cycle. Now, breeding cycle simply means it's simply for checking dates. So the pregnancy test, how many days will it, after crossing, how many days do you want to check pregnancy? So here we have 90 days, I believe is ideal. The negotiation period, of course, is 150 or so for rabbits, for grass cutters. Then the breeding cycle, how often do you want, how many days? This helps you to know when you are supposed to cross a grass cutter again after its first crossing or its initial cross or previous crossing. So I believe the days should be around 180 days, not necessarily 90 days. Yeah, 90 would mean 3 months. So 180 is every 6 months you're supposed to cross it. Then the production record. Now here is where you do most of the activities of your farm. So the date of crossing, the male that you used, these are all drop-down lists. So once you click inside, the list of your breeding stock will appear. If it's not in the breeding stock, it will not appear. So that was it. So all these things, the dates that you are seeing is a reflection of your breeding cycle that you just inserted there. So once you have done your crossing on the first January of 2022, then you know that the testing date is 1st April. Then after that, what was the result? Was it pregnant or not pregnant? You choose one of them. An expected date of birth. This is also based on the breeding cycle number that you entered from the breeding cycle settings. All right, so you know that gestation period is 150 days, so you're expecting it to give birth in the next 150 days, and the date will be predicted for you. So then we have the litter ID. A litter ID can be anything you want to use to identify the children of this combination, the male and the female. So you can just put any code there in order to avoid inbreeding, so that you always know the roots or the pedigree of that particular grass cutter, because along the way, that is what you also use to identify and differentiate them. So then we have the number born, stillbirth, prey winning, mortality, total left, winning date, actual date, win, number win, females, number of males, post winning, mortality after you separated them, the death cases you need to record in them if there are death cases. So that's it for the production of mating and breeding record. All right, so basically that is it. So it also gives you the data that to mature, and even the current age of that particular set of grass cutters that were born. And so also we quickly go back to the main menu. Yeah, so you have a comment and review. Then we have, let's go to sales records. So here is just a record of the sales that you are making as you go along. The category of sales, was it a breeding stock? Maybe you sold the meat for meat, or a spent grass cutter, something. Just enter something. Then the number sold, just enter the 40. The selling price per grass cutter, it was 300 cedis. And then you have the total amount that you sold them. I think this one you can just do your own calculation, and then to tell you 120,000 Ghana cedis that you sold. All right. So you do the same thing for all the sales that you'll be making, especially the categories. It really help you. Then we go to income expenditure. Now here there is something we need to know. The date is one for all. So the date, so that we keep a timeline of what is happening. You can compare both the income and expenditure in the same timeline. That's why we have the date there for both income and expenditure. So once you start making some income, you capture in the dates, the details, the income category, the amount, okay. Then the if it's expenditure, you have to. So each entry has its own date. If the income and expenditure happen on the same date, you can keep it all on the same row, on the same line. All right. So that is it for income and expenditure. We want to move to the next thing, which is the performance chart. So now the performance chart shows you monthly performance or results of the farm, or monthly projection of what is happening on your farm. So you have the number of matings that you have done for each month, number of liters that you have seen, and the sum of number of grasscutters that have been born in each month. So you have to enter all these details. I have them there as dump data, so you can delete them and enter your own. Now, these are various performance by the various females, all right? So once you enter female one, it shows you a profile of female one. These were just not real figures. So you can see that in April, May, and November, it gave birth, right? And the total number that it gave birth to, the number of stillbirths. Stillbirth is those who die during the day of labor. And the same thing for the males. Same thing. So anytime you get here, you just, now these are veterinary records of medications. If you are giving medication, I know not many people do give medication, but in case you do, you have to keep the records of them. So these are also daily incidents of what is happening on the farm. It's good you keep record of certain special occurrences or events, so that for the sake of memory, all right? So basically that is it. This is the Grassscutter spreadsheet, and I believe that it will be a blessing for you. Grab your copy and enjoy the digitalization of record keeping. Thank you for watching, and see you. You can check the description for my WhatsApp contact, so that you can WhatsApp me directly for your copy. Thank you very much. All right.